Greetings, everybody, and welcome to our complimentary Saturday Immune lecture by Professor Desiree Dubounet and hosted by Rita and myself. We are honored and privileged, as I always say, to have this golden wisdom coming directly from the source. And thank you, Desi, very much for everything that you do regarding this.
You're welcome.
Today we have a very, very, very special subject, weight loss. And I can tell you, and I'm sure Desi and Rita could back me up on this, nearly everybody has a weight issue, whether it's too much weight, too little weight, whether they are seemingly at their optimum weight, they still think there's something that they need to lose. So we're really looking forward to finding out. I've termed it the bottom line on weight loss because, pun intended. Let's get the lowdown on it. We know we've got to release the weight. We know also that there's always inflammation and there's toxicity and emotional, neurological, spiritual aspects to carrying weight. And I think now, a very special time moving up towards the 21st of December, the solstice. The earth is in a detox phase, nature's in a detox phase, and actually humanity is too. So why don't we just climb in on the bandwagon and detox and get ourselves to our optimum weight and and be healthy at the same time. So we'll do it naturally. And after Desi speaks, I've got a few slides, and I'm sure Rita's got some interesting information for us too on body alignment. That would be gorgeous. So Desi, if you're ready, over to you. Thank you very much.
Can you bring up that where I just sent you on Skype?
Yep.
Okay.
Let me just find it. I'm going to play it straight away.
Yeah, just play the picture there. Now, what I've done is scoured the research to basically find out just what is the best weight loss program. Okay. Now, I make it easy to remember, so I came up with an acronym, AWAKEN. Okay.
Wow.
And just to make it simple and easy. Now, number one, air. Yes, we need oxygen, but actually we are not designed to breathe just oxygen. If we take in pure oxygen, it'll hurt us. We are designed for air. Air is the number one nutrient. The number one nutrient for all human beings is air. But most of us are deficient in this nutrient because we really don't breathe correctly. We don't breathe deep enough. We don't really activate the complete lungs. We've been talking about this in the past, on the course here. The widow exercises, I'm going to show you a video. But basically, we have to start getting our complete lungs to utilize air, because this is the key to weight loss. Of all the detoxifications that the body has, which is stool, we can shit, urine, piss, sweat, and air, then there's menses and other different ways that we detox, etc. But the number one way that we detox fat is through the breath. The fat, when it's exposed to oxygen and water, it is able to be produced and broken down, and we exhale the carbon dioxide and we urinate. So it has been shown that if you just breathe more, breathe deeper, expand your lungs, if you just breathe more, you actually are starting to burn fat. And I have a couple exercises on the video that we've been showing. We'll show them again. And then there's a new one, the bellows breath, that will help. Next, W, water. The next big nutrient that people are deficient in is water. The largest problem that people have with weight loss is that they switched to some other liquid to drink, like Coca-Cola, Zero Coke. All of these things are bad for you to begin with. But this is where most people get in their extra calories. When they have the sweet drinks, the sweet sugary drinks, they're getting no fiber, they're getting no nutrition, they're just getting pure sugar. and that is being converted into fat. So we got to get people back into water. And every time you take one of these 0-calorie synthetic chemical compounds, you take that in, it so upsets your bowel flora that it just drives your brain crazy. And then because you're not getting any nutrients and you're getting something that seems like it's energy, but it's not, it's just sweet. It doesn't have any energy to it. It drives your brain crazy and you get hungrier. So those 0-calorie compounds have been shown to make you fat. You don't see skinny people drinking them. And that's because they make you fat. Now, the next A is avoid. There's a whole bunch of things we need to avoid. And the head on the list is we need to avoid the compounds that have no life force, these patented chemicals, whether they're additives, processed food, chemicals that the doctor might prescribe to you. We want to try to avoid them as much as absolutely possible. Next, K. Well, I had to find a K. Of course, vitamin K is very important, and vitamin K is extremely rich in cabbage, so I thought, oh, I'll just put K for cabbage. That's how we spell it here in Hungary. We spell it with a K. So, and cabbage is one of the fantastic compounds that God has given us. It made into a soup, into a salad, etc. It's a fantastic source of fiber. It really does help to pull weight off of the body. So the cabbage soup diet really does work. Next, exercise. We found that exercise helps, but actually most exercise doesn't really help for weight loss. Exercise helps make you more healthy, but doesn't really do weight loss. The form of exercise that's best for weight loss is high intensity. If you work out hard as you possibly can, just for 25, 30 seconds, rest and recover, then do it again, and you do this 3 or 4 times a day, just 30 seconds, hard as you can, you do that type of thing, and you're going to start to break up fat. You're going to lose some fat. And then next, we talk about what we need to avoid, then we need to know what to eat. And the number one diet that is going to help us with weight loss is going to be whole plant foods. When you get the roughage, the fiber, as you are sleeping, your body's digesting that fiber, and you actually lose weight while you sleep. So I made a little video about Awaken, and now we can show it. Okay, Jane?
Hold on a second, I'm here. So must I go back and get the other one?
No, you can just, I think you got the video loaded. I see it.
Yeah, it should be. I'm just wondering why it doesn't play.
I think you have to click on the button.
I'm doing that.
Well, I sent you a picture. I sent you a
yes,
picture, but I also sent you a video.
You sent me a picture, and then you said this one will be better.
Oh,
I see what you did.
I sent you a playlist. Yeah, you have to, from the playlist, you got to go down to the first video. I will, hang on, I will send it to you now. No.
You sent me one, and then you said this link is better. Must I use that one, or are you sending me another one?
Yeah, this one is better, but let me give you the link now. Okay. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the shadow a little later.
Yes, we are.
Other things. But here is the link for sure. I sent you a playlist. On the playlist, I have all different types of videos, including the
all right, I have this one. Thank you. Now, the next thing is to load another one. Shubert, how am I going to load this other one? Just a minute.
Now look at me.
I'm not looking at you, but Daisy, normally it lets me load another one.
I haven't got the hang of this stuff yet.
I had it, but there we go. Add a new video.
Okay. Let's see how it goes.
It's coming through now. One thing that's good about the videos is that they load immediately. Okay, let's see if this one's opening for us. Yes, sure. We're perfect. Awaken. Wow, you did so nice.
Awaken.
And been able to come off so many of their medications that they were sticking with the diet on their own, and the weight had continued.
Breath,
Come on.
water.
Now they're getting their fiber from the cell wall.
You have to go to the beginning.
Stabilize the gut.
This is Desiree.
The fiber helps electrically stimulate everything and feeds the gut bacteria. So now they're making the hormones serotonin, GABA, dopamine.
We've analyzed all the science.
They're making everything
Make sure we can
themselves. They don't need pharmacy. They're making everything inside
air, water,
themselves.
what to avoid,
Establishing health,
exercise, nutrition.
vitality to
Now they're going to guide you.
not only is this the most successful weight loss, lowers blood sugar, diabetes, kidney function.
We
In
need
fact,
oxygen.
it is
because actually we
the
are
universal
taking
diet that we
air.
now know.
And this
helps
is the number one
virtually
nutrient. You
All
can't
right.
go without
What
air.
about a year? Even in studies that last a whole year, where people are, put on a particular diet, coach the entire year to stick to it, by the end of the year, any initial weight loss in the first few months tends to creep off back. The broad study only lasted 3 months, yet after it was all over,
That's the way it goes.
those who had been randomized to the plant-based group not only lost dozens of pounds, they
Letting go. Fully in. Letting go.
Now let's add some more parasympathetic juice to this. Inhale, stimulating the vagus nerve, belly goes out. Joyful smile, stimulating the facial nerve. Serene eyes, stimulating the oculomotor. And pleasurable exhale, stimulating the glossopharyngeal.
You feel charged. You feel very lightheaded, loose in the body, tingling, strong. That's a charge. You take them in. You let it go. You stop. Time again, and let it go.
As we do these 30 breaths, when we get down to the end, then we're going to relax and hold the breath.
No breathing in it.
Okay, as long as you can until there's a gas reflex. This will allow carbon dioxide to build up in the body and then to charge the brain with oxygen as we then come back. It's all part of the process that doing these breaths, awaken.
Awaken yourself.
This is for weight loss. We have an acronym, awaken.
Awaken for health, fitness,
Air, breath, water, avoid,
healthy
cabbage,
food,
vitamin K,
exercise,
nutrition and
fiber.
This is Desiree Dubounet.
And Ritus Nemenyi.
Here we are today to give you a little tip on weight loss.
And health.
We've analyzed all the science, all the recent science for you to make sure we can get the best program for weight loss. We have an acronym: air, water, what to avoid, K vitamins, cabbage, exercise, nutrition.
Now we're going to guide you through all the important points: how to eat, what not to eat,
We start with air.
how to breathe properly.
We need oxygen, but actually we are designed to take in air. And this is the number one nutrient. You cannot go without air even for a couple of minutes.
We are going to teach you all the breathing techniques you need.
So basically, the way that you lose weight, we got to get the diaphragm working, and the way that you're going to lose weight is breathing. By breathing, you start to generate weight loss.
Belly, chest.
If we can learn what not to
That's
eat,
the
not
way
to
it
eat the
goes.
high-fat foods,
Yeah.
like the boiled and oil foods and the nitrates, we start to learn more
Yeah,
about
Dizzy.
Letting go.
I think you can just stop it. I think we,
Fully in.
Is it the wrong one?
yeah, just stop.
appear to effectively
Just stop the
burning more
first
calories
one.
in their sleep.
Yeah, what I sent you the first time, I had already watched like 15 minutes of it, you see. So when you turned it on, it went to where I left off. So
What would you like me to do?
We can just talk about some other things. I passed the link on, okay? And inside this link is the video. And tell everybody, share this with their friends, share this. This is really going to be the key to weight loss. You cannot lose weight if you're eating hot dogs, French fries, and potato chips. I'm sorry. You have to be able to pay attention. So I've given you the video. Along with that video, there's a host of other videos on the playlist, including an electroceutical that I have for weight loss. And the electroceutical is about 20 minutes. And it has vibrations in it that if you have headphones, you can put the headphones on the fat areas. It will help to break up fat cells.
That's amazing.
So that's an electroceutical. But basically, we really do have to watch what foods we need to avoid, and we have to worry about foods that we need to eat. And we need whole plant foods. That's what our body is designed for. Our body needs the fiber to feed our bacteria. So Rita just came back.
Hello, everybody.
So,
hi, Rita.
They can watch the video at home.
We watch the video. You want us to watch the video later, did you say?
Oh, the people can watch the video at home. Rita.
Yeah, sure.
Talk about it. We have some questions?
After Rita speaks, I've actually put together from before a quantum weight loss program where we're using the QUEX and we're also using the home prescription, and it's over 4 weeks. So I'm happy to share that with people as well.
Okay, in the new software, I'm programming my new electroceuticals, my more powerful electroceuticals, and they will be programmed into the new software. And I'm told I'm going to be getting the new software on Monday or Tuesday, and hopefully I'll be able to show it by next week.
Okay. Well, definitely before Christmas, hey Des? Before Christmas. Let's put it at that.
It's a Christmas gift to the world. But
that's
yeah,
right.
it definitely, you're going to see these really beautiful electroceuticals that I've been making, and access to our videos and the training and everything. So it's all coming along, and it's going to be really wild and beautiful. So keep in mind that when you're teaching people about protocols and etc., that the program is going to change here. So everybody has to. I don't
know, but I'm not looking at protocols at all. It's individual, unique.
That's what we have to do. We have to look at the individual, but the mistakes that people have made, and one of the crucial mistakes is getting away from plants. Now, where the human race largely starts in Africa, and for millions of years, people had to go from bush to bush. And then they got a mixture of things. And the human being just isn't fast enough or strong enough to really catch lunch and dinner. It's not like, the animals that can catch it, the carnivores. We are made to go from bush to bush. And we're designed to eat those things. And then along came fire. And when fire came along, it started to push people to be able to they could cook things. And the thing that it wasn't really meat that was the big thing that they could cook. The big thing that that they could cook was potatoes, tubers. A lot of the foods that were these root, foods needed to be cooked to release their goodies. If we try to eat raw potatoes, it's just not good. We'll get sick. So that's what cooking really did and made people much more intelligent. It made the minds expand. And then there was meat. Now, meat came along, and then as mankind got further and further into Northern Europe, then there was the mammoth. And the mammoth was there, and if you could kill a mammoth, and there's an old mammoth, and a group of cavemen could just knock him down with stones because he was going to die anyways. And then all of a sudden there was food for their entire village for probably, the entire winter. Well, cheese. And then, of course, as you got into, you got away from Africa and got into the north, all of a sudden there was 3 or 4 months, nothing grew, you see. So all of a sudden there was a way that they could then use fire, and they could cook and they could smoke the things and preserve them and dry them out. So that's where meat came in. And meat really came in as a Northern European thing. As we see the Neanderthals of Southern Europe, he really was much more vegetarian. But as Homo sapiens started to get into Northern Europe, they started to like meat. Then they also liked pig. There was wild pig. And the pig they knew, they had an instinct. The Bible even tells us not to eat pig. And they had an instinct that they should eat pig, like once a year as a celebration because it was tasty. And once a year as a celebration to butcher the pig. That was, something cool. And that wasn't so much of a drag on the health system. And then as people got to be more and more wealthy, etc., then they started having pig twice a year, then once a month. And now it's bacon and sausage every day for breakfast. And it is really not good food. It is just not good food. The pig does not detoxify properly. The pig does not have sweat glands. He does not detoxify properly. So toxins that build up in the pig, and Dr. Reckwig of Germany had a big science about this. He called them Sioux toxins, Sioux for pig. And he said that Sioux toxins were responsible for an awful lot of disease because people were just eating too much pig, eating it far too regularly. And that was creating a problem. So he had a whole science. And out of this science grows homotoxicology. Homotoxicology started from the work of Dr. Reckwig on Sioux toxins.
The people had to get some poison and some toxins, so they had to experiment on it, how to find a cure.
So these are the things that we have to recognize, that our bodies are really designed for plants. I know that a lot of people just love that meat. And that's okay to work that meat into the diet, but if you're eating too much meat, you're not getting enough fiber, then you're not getting the processing. And then the problem, there's no fiber in meat. So it does add to weight gain.
And the most important thing is that the diet has to be clean, and the diet has to be well planned and prepared. Many people that leading a daily eating diary can help you to keep you more aware and more conscious about your choices and selections. Anybody who I'm helping with weight loss and with diet and lifestyle planning, it starts with an everyday diary writing, and we are teaching people what not to eat and what to choose. We have to program our brain to automatically select the good food, the fiber, the nutrition, what is good for our bowel flora, and what keeps our healthy bowel bacteria alive. Because if our digestion is not working properly, we cannot think, we cannot burn calories, we cannot gain muscle, we cannot work, study, function. So the lifestyle inventory is really starting with the diet and with what not to eat. And we have to be really strict and really critical with ourselves, and we cannot say to our therapist or consultant, oh, I just accidentally bought a Diet Coke, because anything with diet or anything with no sugar, anything with zero is actually stopping and killing your bowel flora because of the synthetics, the chemicals, sucralose, aspartame, sweeteners. These are all bad, and they create a big problem in the nerve system, in your memory, in your anger issues, and altogether with all your health, it is not compatible.
People think that when they diet with the whole plant foods that they're suffering, they're depriving themselves. That's wrong. You have to learn how to spice up your foods. You got to learn how to, if you take the cabbage, and I showed Rita the other day, and I'm making a video on it. You just slice the cabbage up into little finger-like, sections. I boiled it in water, and then I put a little bit of butter and a little bit of some natural olive oil on it, and a touch of salt. It was wondrous. It was delicious, right?
Yeah. It is all about you have to reprogram your mind, and your like your tongue is like an electric tongue, like a taster, like a juicer, and you just have to reprogram your sensors and your taste and your imagination and your expectation, because we are having a bad habit that, for example, anything what we eat with white sugar or anything what we eat boiled in oil tastes good, because we are used to that, and we can reprogram and change that habit, because this is like a bad stock program. We can create a new one and say, I love cabbage, I love steamed cabbage, and this tastes really good. And as soon as we spice it up with all kinds of spices, we can add some ginger, curcuma, curry, all kinds of vegetables to it, we will feel that this is really not only tasty for our tongue, it is also tasty for our gut flora, our bowel flora, and we are not going to produce so much gas. We are not going to have problems with our metabolism, no metabolic errors.
And I found that if I just took my salad, which it was hard for me to eat salad, it's just so bland. But if I just took the salad, put it into the microwave. I'm not going to overdose it now, just a little bit dose of microwaving, about 25 seconds. Now, what the microwave does, it shakes the water molecules, okay? It shakes a little bit of protons. Too much of that will destroy nutrients. At the radiation, it's microwave radiation that we're being bombarded. Cosmic microwave radiation is oscillating throughout. So that radiation is not so much of a problem. But a little bit now, when my salad now was warm, and if you don't like the microwave, just get a wok, Chinese wok, and just lightly saute the salad, just very, very lightly, just enough so you warm it up, and all of a sudden the flavor came out. It released the flavor of the salad, of the tomatoes, of the peppers. Don't overcook them. The more you smell when you're cooking, you're actually smelling a lot of nutrients that are filling the room. Just lightly cooked, so you get it warm, and all of a sudden, my taste buds said, oh, wow, that's great. Oh, look, it's warm. And it just really increased the flavor. Anything that it tastes better hot and doesn't taste good cold, you see? Because that's an excitogen, that little bit of heat. Okay, when we had that little touch of cooking. This is what our ancestors have taught us, so we need a little bit of that.
We just need to replace certain things. Like when you go shopping, it is simple. When you notice that you would buy something what you were using in your past and it was not working, then you just have to be aware and present and say to yourself, oh, I don't buy this. I will replace this Coke with a granite, 100% pomegranate apple juice, and little choices and little changes like that will completely change your lifestyle habits, your eating, and also your weight, your well-being, and also how you feel in your body.
And most of the juice that you buy in the store is too concentrated. You want to take it home and dilute it with good water, about 50-50, until you get the right flavor. But actually, it's too concentrated. You get a lot of calories from those juices, and you're not getting fiber. So you want to get juices that have that are more smoothies, that have pulp. And the smoothies are the best because you got a lot of pulp. But if you want to have the drink, and you want to get the water and find a way to excite your water with lemon and a touch of pomegranate or some strawberries floating in the water. The cucumber is fantastic. Try it. It's wonderful. Because we want to try to find a way that we can excite our taste So that when we're changing to these plant foods, that we're going to not give up something. We're going to replace it with a different type of flavor.
And everything what you do, all these changes should become a lifestyle, and you should not do it for a week or 90 days because these issues don't work. This have to be a complete lifestyle change and something which you keep up the whole year and not only for a short period of time.
Most people will find that it takes 2 weeks to reprogram the palate. Now, the best example of this was actually New York City. That about 7 or 8 years ago, New York City passed a law to make the sale of trans fats illegal. Now, trans fats was full of in the potato chips and all these other things. So they decided that they were just going to stop people selling French fries and everything that had these bad trans fats. Everybody said, oh my God, it tastes different. Within 2 weeks, they were fine with it. It just took a couple of weeks and the palate reprograms. And then when you go back to that, it's like, oh, that doesn't taste as good as, if right now, I just don't eat French fries. I grew up on French fries. Of course, I love French fries. I have cut French fries out of my diet completely for the last 3 years. The only time I eat them is if I have to and they're on the plate. And there's nothing else. So I don't eat French fries. But now, every now and then, I'll take one and I'll see it and I'll think, oh my God, and I'll taste it. And no, wait a minute. Why was I so gaga about that? Because that's what I was used to. The salt, I put vinegar on my French fries, and
so it was a bad habit.
It was a bad habit. Nobody taught me that was extremely high calorie, very, very low nutrition, very low fiber, you see. So it was not good food. Boiled in oil, which filled it with these acrylates that cause cancer and etc. And then I'm getting bad fatty acids from the boiled oil, you see. If you take the French fries and just cut up the potato into small French fry sections and then bake them, once they're done baking, put a little bit of paprika, a touch of salt, and then put a little bit of fresh olive oil on them. Now that olive oil now is not cooked. It's not cooked olive oil. And now you're not going to get those bad things from the cooked olive oil, but you get the same flavor. But if you want to go that extra dimension into health, throw away the white potatoes and go for the sweet potatoes.
And make the bread, mostly the white bread and the white flour.
If you're going to use any type of bread, you got to use the Ezekiel bread, the Bible bread,
and whole grain.
You got to use whole grain bread, and the best is germinated whole grain bread. And now you're talking about a very healthy substance,
full of fiber and nutrition,
full of amino acids and all different types of things.
And also we realize that even our taste for sweetness, it is also a bad habit, because if you would see and compare how the applesauce and how the natural fruits make and give you the sweet taste as you try to get it with sugars, sometimes you realize that the fruits are a lot more sweeter, they taste better, and actually they give you a lot more pleasure than...
If you put on a blindfold and taste strawberries, blueberries, grapes, and white sugar, candy bar, if you put on a blindfold and just taste it, and you don't really know what you're tasting until you taste it. Yes, all of a sudden you'll know it's a strawberry, but you will find that strawberry is much more flavorful than that candy bar. Much more flavorful. But that strawberry has a lot of fructose in it, which is a left-handed sugar, and it will not send your blood sugar up. When we eat fruits have fructose, and fructose has to go to the liver before it can go into the blood. And that delay means that you're not going to get that spike, that sugar spike.
That sugar hit.
That sugar hit. But when you take the candy bar, you're going to get that sugar hit. Now that sugar hit coupled with the sweet flavor, and now it's largely addictive. But it's not healthy.
And
it doesn't even taste as good as
and you have the effect only for a short time, and then you feel that you have to do another load because you lost the effect very, very quickly.
It's only about a 10-minute hike in the blood sugar, and then you need another hit.
And if we talk about weight loss, it's very, very necessary to also add the cardiovascular exercises, because beside the good diet, we need to do exercises. And researchers say that everybody can do from 15 to 20 minutes a day, but we believe it could be better more up to 30.
The research now comes in about elderly people, and we now know that 35 to 40 minutes a day is the demarcation between sick people and healthy when you get old. That if the people who do not get at least 35 minutes a day, not all at the same time, 35 minutes a day is what they need to keep health. If the people who get more than 40 minutes don't have any more improvement than the people who are at 35 or 40, you see, so it's not more is better. Sometimes you could get too much, but so let's say about 40 minutes. This is what you need to do to keep active. Now, that doesn't mean heavy exercise to keep healthy.
It can be hiking, fast walking.
It can be stretching,
swimming.
These type of things. But if you want to lose weight, because that's our topic, then you're going to have to involve some high intensity.
Speeding up the heart rate and the BMP.
Yes, if you want to be able to lose weight. But if you're just doing it for health, 35, 40 minutes.
And also weight loss is key. I mean, it can happen very easily if you completely avoid carbs after 6 p.m. This research has been working almost for every type of hormone people, every type of blood. I mean, all kinds of blood types, because carbohydrate in the evening, if you deprive that, then you already lower the energy intake, and then the body in the evening will not be able to restore any extra fat. This is a very, very good thing to do. Try not to eat heavy carbs after 6 p.m. like pasta, rice, potato, chocolate, muesli bars. Try to switch in the evening to eggs, hard-boiled eggs.
No, your last meal of the day.
Tuna salad.
Your last meal of the day should be high fiber, so that you're actually digesting that in your sleep, and you're losing weight in your sleep, because your stomach will be working on the fiber. The bowel bacteria will be working, and you actually will lose weight. So you want to have a high fiber, type of food.
If you eat that 3-4 hours before your sleep, then during your sleep you can go into a type of ketosis and burn fat, even just during sleeping.
No, it's just the fiber. It turns up the flame. But they were teaching you about protein.
No, not only fiber and plants and everything. I am doing a very interesting diploma course in Hungarian about hormones and how our eating habits and nutrition intake is affecting all kinds of diseases like female problems, mental problems, and I'm impressed. So everything leads back to our gut and what we eat and how we choose our meals and what we actually put into our basket when we go shopping. This is the deciding part to our health and also concerning to our weight. So that's why it is very, very interesting to read a book every day, what you were eating and what you were buying, because then you can
keep a journal.
You can keep a journal, and then you can keep track on yourself. How loyal were you to your decision? How clean could you eat? How were you be able to resist those foods what you were taking in the past? What kind of changes were you be able to make? And Desiree and I are planning to do this in the future, personalized for anybody who would like to make changes. So we are happy to create an individual and personalized dietary and lifestyle plan for anybody.
I'm going to be working on a video the next week here to try to show you how to get the healthiest foods and make them into the most flavorful foods. I'm going to take kale and a lot of other things and cabbage, and show you how you can take something that you think is really bland, but I'm going to make it into your favorite food. I'll show you how to make cabbage pizza.
And we are going to record some video shoots about me showing exercises, what anybody, anywhere, anyhow, with any age, any weight, and any health and joint conditions will be able to follow, and it will help you to increase your BPM and helps you to lose weight and stretch.
So I have given you the video that I got our new video Awaken, that I hope will help people to learn a little more. And let's talk about the shadow workshop, because we're going to be
Daisy, just before we go there, I just want to make some points here. And one of the things that's extremely important when it comes to losing weight is to detoxify, because when your body is holding all the toxins, the uranium, the plutonium, the heavy metals, the parasites, the halogens, asbestos, etc., they all require the body to hold water, and they create inflammation. So my sort of rule of thumb and go-to is to detoxify the body first, because you immediately release the weight.
Yeah, I believe that we have to be able to check our hormones and how is our water household, the cortisol, how are the FSH, the PST, all the hormones, because if we see that there is a big imbalance, then we have to first create a balance. And what Jane said, to detox, because we can only lose weight if our system is completely healthy. Liver, kidney.
That's right. Those organs of detoxification need to be, really, really, really optimal. And you can always use things like infrared sauna as well to speed up the detox, and in many instances, the lymphatic system's completely blocked. And, we've got metabolic syndrome as well, where we've talked about this many times, where we need to get the body charged, first of all, and secondly, the cell vitality and the charge around the cell membrane optimal and functioning before you even throw nutrients at a cell, because it won't take it. So, I like to take those steps back first.
The cell has to be electrically balanced.
Yes.
That's why our machine is so wonderful.
Absolutely, for sure. And it really does help. So many people are eating, the heated oils. I call it cancer in a bottle, because there are no enzymes for digestion, and that oil literally floats around in the blood. I see it under the microscope. It slows the blood down. It slows the amount of oxygen to the organs per minute. It coats the liver, it coats the heart, and even gets into the nervous system. And so therefore, for me, when I say detox, I'm also referring to get the fat out, get the protein out, get the calcium out, the calcification. So that you're really dealing with the streamlined body to start with. And what happens when you do that is you'll find the neurological anxieties and stresses and things start disappearing, as well as the emotional stress, because the body becomes alive, and it can't really access those key points anymore, and the depression lifts, and you're just dealing, and you're starting to talk a different language to the patient at the time. So those are very, very, very important aspects. And also what you were saying was the whole food, because the brown rice, anything white has got that high glycemic index, and that's what causes that spike. So we wanting to always have the fiber with the food. Otherwise, also you won't lose weight.
They use chemicals to make it white, and then they take away the natural cell membranes of the wheat and the rice and etc. They take away that, and that's what we need. We need that fiber.
Yeah, we do. And then I've noticed also that when the parasites leave the body, the craving for sugar goes, the craving for nicotine, the craving for drugs, the craving for caffeine. It all seems to go, because the parasites are the ones that are the ones that actually are addicted. So when we I call it just clean slating somebody. When we get a clean sheet and we know who we're talking to, all the alien entities and whatever else have gone, and we've rectified and balanced and smoothed over everybody, that's really when the
bad bacteria in the bowel And the reason
yes.
to start with the bad bacteria in the bowel can communicate through the vagus nerve and send signals to the brain that make the person want the bad food that feeds that bacteria.
It is like a sugar bacteria, like a craving.
Right.
And if the immune system weakens, then we are more susceptible. Then we are more open to entities, psychic attacks.
This is why if
loss.
you can eat good food for about 2 weeks, you're going to lower that bad bacteria, and then you're not going to crave it. This is why it can't be done overnight. It takes some time. Detox. Detox is very important.
Very, very important for everything. And
all of our toxins ready. Now, you talked about plutonium, uranium, and these type of toxic metals, etc. And you have to understand, these are extremely heavy materials. You know, water, which is H2O, has so many protons in it. Collectively, 10 protons in water. Now, you're talking about uranium, which has like 75 protons. It's like comparing a ping pong ball to a bowling ball. Okay, so they're very, very heavy. What's going to happen? What happens to heavy things? Gravity pulls them down. Okay, so this is why people will get their feet will be all funky.
Their voice will be funny.
No, because what happens is their feet get all torturesome and they get fungus and all types of things because these heavy metals sink down to their feet. Now, every day people should put their feet up above their heart. I do this in the bathtub every day for about 10 minutes. I put my feet way up into the air and I sit back and I relax into hot water. Now, then slowly, all of these heavy metals, the cadmiums and all these vanadiums and all these things will start coming down my legs back into my system to give my liver another chance to detox. But so many people, all they do is walk and they don't ever put their feet above their heart, and sometimes never put their heart above their head. That's another thing we need to recognize. We got to get inverted. We got to be able to invert and get our head beneath our heart now and then so that we can get the blood moving completely to assist the detox and to assist our circulation.
Like in the feng shui, we have to reorganize our furniture in the room. We have to sometimes reorganize our body and change positions and places. This is also what yoga is about: stretching and going down, going up. We have to make everything what is inside us to get going with the energy flow. And
I get a pedicure on my feet, and about 10 years ago, the person who would do my pedicure, they would always have to spend the first 5 minutes just cleaning the bad skin off my feet. Okay, they just take the time, they clean all that. Now that I put my feet up in the bathtub and I'm detoxifying, you see, none of that happens. I go to the same pedicurist and they go, "What are you doing? How come your feet
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That's just great. You mean all that hard skin that you get on your feet, that you're talking about, disappears?
Exactly.
That's amazing.
As you get these heavy metals, they will drift down. They're heavy. They're extremely heavy. Iron, which is 35, has an atomic weight of 35, and it's very, very heavy. Iodine, very heavy, has an atomic weight of 75. Very, very heavy stuff compared, to the normal molecules. And as it drifts down, the feet try to detoxify it. Yeah. So who was the homeopath that talked about detoxification always going down? And then he said, whatever you do, don't try to stop the feet from detoxifying. Let the feet go. He said, if you try to stop the feet from detoxifying, you see, then you're going to back up the toxins. So this is why, now what I'm telling you, by putting the feet up, I'm assisting those chemicals, those large atoms, to be able to get into the body to detox. So we're going to talk about the shadow now.
Yeah, let's do that.
We're working on the shadow 3-hour proposal. What day is the solstice this year? Is it 2021?
I think it's a Monday. I think it's a Monday. I've been having a look. Let me look quickly.
On that night we will be offering it.
That is Monday. Yeah.
Okay,
we'll do it on Monday.
This year, it has not happened for over 800 years, but Jupiter and Saturn will line up on that day to produce a new star in the sky. There will be a bright star in the sky. It will be a combination of Saturn and Jupiter lining up in the sky. And that hasn't happened for 800 years. A lot of people say that that happened when Jesus was born, you see. That's probably true. So that there was a new star in the sky, see. So we're going to be doing it on this special day. We're going to make a tape of it so that people can watch it anytime. And we're going to put together something really, really powerful to help people to touch their shadow, their dark side, and to do it in confidential terms. In other words, I'm making a video that they can use at home confidentially. So when they talk about their own deep negative feelings, etc., they don't have to be afraid of somebody sharing.
But I believe in the beginning, people can also talk to their own shadow. Like you can talk to the mirror. You can think of an image how your shadow can look like. You can think.
Well, that's what we're going to do.
You can think of your biggest fear.
That's the whole workshop.
And when we make the workshop, and we can actually come to a conclusion to share a little bit with each other who had what kind of experiences. I will share with you mine, because right now we are experimenting on my shadow.
I want to emphasize that there will be an open door to share, and there will be an emergency hotline number if you need help. Okay?
Yeah, because
so we will be aware of this, and we will be there to help. And we will be there in the future to help anybody who watches.
These workshops can cause kind of emotional breakdowns, anxiety attacks, fear.
I believe it's all for the good.
This is all the healing, the part of the healing and the recovery and discovering process itself.
You take a splinter out of your arm, it hurts. Okay, healing hurts. Detoxification, all of these things.
Changing hurts.
Okay, these things hurt, but yet we'll be there to help you. But I want to emphasize that this time we're going to do it so that if you wish total confidentiality, it will be there.
So we can actually open private windows for discussion to Desiree or to me or to Jane.
And if you don't want to discuss any of this with anybody, it's fine as well.
Yes.
We do not demand to hear your stories. But if you want to tell your stories, you can. But I recognize that in the past, when I've done these face-to-face, many people who were ready to share and really make major advances and etc. Many of those people who were about to do cathartic release stopped because there was somebody else in the room that they felt embarrassed. But now you're going to be free to do that. And you'll get your networking and you'll get that contact through us as you need it.
I believe that this is something what happens for your higher good, but this will not be an immediate and one-time process. Some people need more workshops. Some people can already touch their inner shadow for the first time. It depends on how deep allow yourself to go. It can be different by each individual person.
And, you know, we can also use the people that have got the quantum devices, and those who don't have, you know, contact Ritu or myself. We're very happy to help you. Didn't include Desi there because she's too busy. But what we can do is we can, you know, there's lots of detoxification programs. There's lots of ascension programs. There's a lot of higher purpose programs. that we can start preparing now. And that's what I'm doing on a personal level. I'm running myself through dozens of these programs, and I'm really preparing for the 21st, because as Desi said, you know, there's also going to be an alignment of planets, 4 of them. And we will find that Jupiter and Saturn are moving into Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. And Desi, we can celebrate, because the age of Aquarius is the age of objectivity. What you measure is real. And I think that's, you know, we've been on the same page about this forever. And that's just music to my ears, because we need to really move into the space now. And astrologically, it's going to be there for us.
Well, that's why I think the shadow is a good time.
But what we
Very
need
good.
we need to run several protection programs.
I'll build them into
through the quantum devices, because this workshop is it might be highly attacked psychically, or it will be an opening door for entities.
Well, that's why though I'll build that.
Because
Disney will protect the whole space.
I'll put that all into the protection there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we have to. So this is going to be really powerful, and I think that our entire world. I was telling Rita the other day that we have to understand that we cannot go through the world airy-fairy thinking that everybody's nice, or that if we do something, everybody's going to be wonderful. That's not true. There are bad people out there. There are really, really bad people out there. 1 person in 20 has some sociopathic and psychopathic tendencies. Some. But 1 person in 100 is a terrible person. We cannot build a medicine and ignore that. We must have a medicine where we allow ourselves to recognize that there are people out there who are horrendous. I'll say Adolf Hitler, and I know some people might disagree. Most of us would agree. Who in the world today would name their child Adolf Hitler? Nobody. Even the person who's his biggest fan would recognize what would happen to that child. So we have to recognize there are certain people
who are born with
these
instincts.
Certain people who are created, affected, but certain people that just cannot be trusted. We have to have a medicine and a philosophy where we recognize that we can love the sinner, but we have to hate the sin. And we all have to sit back and take everything with a little grain of salt and just work through all of these things together. But don't trust anybody completely.
I agree with you.
Critical thinking. Think.
I agree with you.
Desiree and I were watching a very shocking documentary movie about a pedophile person, and Desiree said that, for example, one of the issues is what cannot be cured is when people are born with these desire to have sex with children. It's terrible.
In the world, 1 person in 10 has a different feeling of sexuality than heterosexuality. They have a homosexuality. Now our society has recognized there's no problem with that. Consenting adults, hey, no big deal. Go back 100 years, that was a gigantic thing. And for many people, it's a gigantic thing today. But for most of us, we recognize no problem. Now, 1 person in 1,000 has pedophilia instincts. And we recognize we're not going to let this person hurt a child. You see, a child would just be beneath the age. We're not going to let that. So as we've studied this and studied these pedophiles, and they come up and they get arrested, we find that we can't change them. Nothing can change them. So
Why not?
We've not found any way. They can look at you and they could be straight, but inside them still is this latent terms. That's why we had to, around the world, make registers. Once you're guilty of pedophilia, your name has to go on a register so that people know where you live. So that is something that prohibits the person from maybe doing it in the future and recognizing that his neighbors. But I'm here to tell you, because I work with these people, you know, in the different things. And as a psychiatrist, and the research tells us, we just cannot cure these people. Some of the people look like they're cured, but no, they're not. So we have to be able to, we have to recognize this.
What is the root cause of it?
Well, it does not appear to be a genetic transfer. We can't find a gene for it. Maybe there is one, we just haven't found it yet. Maybe it's an epigenetic thing, but for some reason or another, what we find is that these pedophiles who are compulsive, once they're caught, given all different types of therapies, everything, released into the community, and they will do it again. So we have to find a way to stop that. And the best way was if we put their name on a register so that everybody living around them knows to be aware. Of course, that changes their entire lives, right? Somebody who's on that register, oh my God, their whole life has changed now. Everywhere they go, people look at them. But yet, that was the only way that we as a society could deal with this. I've known many cases where they thought that the person was cured and went out and boom.
I know that Russia sent them all out.
Yeah.
Out of the country.
Exactly. And, you know, they just said, hey, get out of here. Because the literature shows there's just no way to cure those people. You know, that was something inside them, you know. So now once we could put them into a position where they could go into their, into life, if the people around them know, then there's that control. Then they have to learn discipline over their minds. But that instinct in their minds doesn't go away. Strange. Now we recognize that there are certain people that just have, there are other people who just are, you know, want to kill. There's certain sociopaths that just have to kill. There's a serial killer. And we discern people, we just can't, once we find them, we can't let them back out. There's certain people, that Charles Manson, you know, we kept him in because there's no way that we could say, okay, you can go back out. So there are bad people in the world.
Yeah.
We want to try to make it less and less and less. And I even made a video about it, how our machine could help. Morgan, what's his name?
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman on his TV show. What's Down the Rabbit Hole? No, where was it? Something like this. And he actually covered the story of a machine similar to ours that was trying to cure people and had one little tiny bit of success. So maybe there is a chance with our technology. I'll have to let you watch that video. It's pretty cool. I'll send a copy.
I'll just get back to detoxification because, in the broadest sense, detoxifying yourself of bad, dark, or these people of bad, dark energy, you know, the imps on their shoulders. Like you say, it could absolutely be the food because, I mean, eating modern day pork versus the wild boar is vastly and radically different. So there's very possible it is part of the diet. It's part of the toxins that are in the environment that can create these shifts. And until you get that toxin out.
This is possible that a certain type of combination. What I can tell you in the research with these people, there's no glimmer of something like that. That doesn't mean that maybe we're not looking hard enough. You know, we always have to keep an open mind, you see, and people are people. We have to try to, you know, love the sinner but hate the sin. You know, so we want to try to keep an open mind and look for ways. I believe that there are ways. Just right now, you know, when you're talking about pedophilia and the massive amount of research that's out there and the history of these people, I'm here to tell you that if I know somebody across the street's a pedophile and I had a small child, I would be very cautious.
Bella.
I would be very aware.
It is like you're also very aware what kind of movies or what you let into your mind, what kind of food you let into your body. You don't let all kinds of people into your life or close to your child, because you have to be aware and you have to be responsible for the safety for your loved ones and also for your own. So we have to be very selective of a company, people, energy.
Well, we have to exist in this world, and we have to recognize that
We have to make healthy choices.
We're a long way from having a utopia where everything is beautiful, beautiful.
But you know, the thing is, we have discernment, and this is the most important thing, because we talk about electrons, we talk about energy, and so we do have a choice as to who we mix with, the people that feed us, that where there's an equal sharing of electrons and a raising of the vibration between the groups that are coming together. We can do that. We can absolutely do that, and be aware of, you know, the tricksters out there and the nonsense people. That's absolutely true.
Have to expand our awareness. And
I think that the more on the higher level we get with our mental and physical health, the better choices we can make with companions, people, with everything. Because when we are healthy and when our immune system is low, and for example we choose bad food, alcohol, or bad habits, then we are on a low resonance level, so we will attract those people who are on that low level. But if we can increase our own level, then we will find everybody else who is on a higher level, like quantum physics.
Absolutely.
I've been so busy doing so many things, but I'm going to be putting my attention into the shadow this next week.
And then we will the cooking video, and also the exercises, and also the Desiree.
But this awaken thing for weight loss that I did here, this really is the science. Very quickly, awaken, AWAKEN. It's just very simple, and with everybody can lose weight. And then it's the people, oh, but I love my candy bars and I love McDonald's McRib, you know.
And then on the video, you can also see how fantastically effective are the high intensity exercises, because that's a stage and that's a situation where your brain gives a signal to the body that you have to survive, you have to complete that task, so you have to produce more muscle and strength.
If you are putting completely 100% out for 25, 30 seconds, that's all. Work out. As hard as you can for 25, 30 seconds. Then relax. A signal goes to your brain. Oh my God. We need to be a little skinnier.
We need to be a little bit faster, stronger.
We need to be a little stronger. We need to be a little faster. And then while you're doing it, you should imagine you're running away from something.
So we have to keep ourselves in the ass and run.
Get on your stationary bike and like you're trying to get away, because then the brain will say, oh, Jesus, I better break up some of these fat cells.
But once I had a very funny picture posted on my social media page. What is the fastest way to increase your cardio? And there was a guy on a bike chased by a bear. So, so you have to imagine that you're trying to save your life or save your mother's life, or imagine something what will create some extra hormone in your brain, what will send out a signal to your body to produce more muscle that you have to be holding on, and you have to survive.
Feet don't fail me now.
Feet don't fail me now? What was that?
Well, Daisy, if we're getting towards the end of your and Rita's section, I'm going to be talking about, we're going to do another raising of humanity's immunity to COVID. It's a Saturday evening. We do it bi-weekly. So we're going to start another one of those. And I see I've got the usual pretender sitting in the group here with us, and everybody's invited to that. And I will speak to you a little bit more about that. And then Daisy, I'm going to use what you've spoken to us here about in regard to awaken, and I'm just going to show people an opportunity regarding weight loss, which what I do. using the quantum devices and the good nourishment and, you know, all opportunities, because I think right now we should be doing everything to raise our vibration. So we want to be, I just think, in the fittest, best position by the 21st of December. And so, you know, who's joining us? Are you all going to be joining us? And we raise our vibration and we really, really focus on December the 21st. I just think it's an opportunity to transition.
Are there any questions to Desi and me concerning weight loss or lifestyle or exercise, anything?
There's only one question there that's asking about when Desi was talking about not able to change pedophiles. It's just, she said, Vanessa said, and does this also apply to gamblers and alcoholics?
Okay, I believe that gamblers and alcoholics, I believe that these are people that can be cured if they can maintain due diligence.
And if they can replace that kind of activity with something else.
So
they have to put their energy into somewhere else.
Gamblers, they're two different things. Let's talk about alcoholics first. An alcoholic could just be somebody who starts to drink, and all of a sudden just gets abusive. However, there are certain people that have a gene, that they've been born with a gene that is a problem. And now every American Indian, every Eskimo has this gene. When they drink alcohol, the normal people like me, if I drink a beer, my body will break up the alcohol into acetic acid. Okay? That's vinegar. Acetic acid is vinegar. So I have a beer. It tastes good. I like it. I have a second beer. Oh, it tastes okay. The third beer, I'm starting to make too much acetic acid. So my body says, nah, I don't want it. So I start to cut down. And even if I'm at a party and it's going crazy, the more I drink, the more I start to say, no, I don't really want the next drink. Okay? Because I'm building up acetic acid. That tells my body to stop drinking. But the people who have this gene, instead of making acetic acid, they make tetrahydroinoxacanol.
So they make adrenaline.
THIQ, which is not adrenaline. It's an opium.
Opium.
They actually make their own opium instead of acetic acid.
Jeez.
Now their 35th drink tastes better than their 34th drink. Their 59th drink tastes better than their 58th drink.
Oh my gosh.
They drink themselves until they just can't drink anymore.
Jesus.
They just can't drink anymore. So that's what happens. Now that's the problem with alcohol. Now certain people become alcoholic and they develop this type of tendency. Now you're talking about a physiological problem. Rita's handed me a cherry beer.
And I'm drinking ginger. I'm not drinking beer.
Oh, she's handed me a cherry beer. It's 3% alcohol. So I'm going to have a sip. And now the gambler is not a chemical thing. The gambler,
for some people, it is chemical.
Well, it's a biological thing. Yeah,
but it gives them a chemical hit in the brain.
But it's not an external chemical.
I believe that all addictions come from they are missing something, and some research are showing that people who become addicts of anything, they have very little oxygen supply, so they need more oxygen, and they are grieving a loss, or they cannot accept something in the moment, so they have to switch it into an addiction.
The chemicals that they need to control and sedate the brain are made by the bowel flora.
And by oxygen.
So everybody who is addictive to anything, improving the bowel flora helps. And that might cure some gamblers. But for the most part, the gambler has been, some gamblers, some of the extreme gamblers have just been born with this urge to gamble, to put something and to make their life more interesting with a gambling.
So you mean it can be DNA related?
It can. We don't know if it's DNA or if it's epigenetic, but it can be that they just can't control that urge. I don't have that urge. I don't like to gamble. If I go someplace, if I go to a place where there's blackjack or whatever, I can only pay attention on the blackjack for about 5-10 minutes, and I'm bored. It's not important to me. It's not important to me. So I'm not really there. But I've watched other people who just, they can't stop. They're there. They're on every bet. And it doesn't matter whether it's for a nickel or for whether it's
for their house or for their own house.
Exactly. They're there. That type of thing can be so deep in them. In order to cure them, everybody has to have good bowel flora. We have to do some talk. We have to do some of these things.
And they have to they have to find internal happiness, because they are looking it on the outside, and until they are not being able to build it from inside, they are going to be wanting it from some other channel. But
if the gambler is somebody who is inside his body can only find happiness through gambling, he's going to have diligence to control that and to be able to express that in a healthy way. There are certainly could do that in a healthy. You could be gambling with little things that are insignificant, because this is what we find, that the gambler can be working with children and gambling with children for pennies or for toothpicks, and it satisfies their urge. You see, so working with with children or something like that, in the place, that could be very helpful. Because some people, they just have to have the throw of the dice, as part of their life. But that's kind of an individual thing. But we do find that there are certain things inside that we just can't cure. As I grew up, and I was born, both sexes, and inside my mind, I'm a woman. And I thought that I could cure that, but I can't. I can't. So finally, I found happiness when I expressed it. And I said, this is who I am. And now society lets me be this way. But back in 1969, when I graduated high school, society wouldn't let me do that. Jesus, they wouldn't. So I had to hide it.
I believe that one of the also very powerful methods of curing addiction is that you teach people to meditate, and you teach them spiritual and mental awareness. That can be through biofeedback, through consultation, but they have to face their own shadow. They have to be mirroring their errors, and they have to look deep inside and make a deep check. And I think we all should do that. But in the case of heavy addiction, teaching a person inner truth, inner happiness, and inner self and inner self-esteem, then the people can be cured, because then they are going to select some other options to be happy, not gambling. They will go to the gym, they will go hiking, they will go ice skating, or they will buy a dog, but they will place their energy and their need for love and attention and rewarding. They will put it somewhere else. They will focus on something what makes sense, what is more connected to spirituality and to life force.
So if we can direct their energies in proper ways, because they talk about cure, but what can we do? And can we get them to be completely cured? Can we change their personality? And complete personality change, that doesn't really work. Okay,
if you want, Jane, I can share a little bit of my example, because before I met Desiree, I think many people heard about it, that I was an addict. I had some problems with street drugs. I had some problems with cigarettes, and Desiree was the person who taught me the other way, and who helped me to find what I'm good at, to find me I mean, she acknowledged and recognized my intelligence, my creativity, and I started to put it into school education, into building myself up. And as soon as my hormones, my blood flow, and my system got healthy, my mind and my awareness got higher, and I started to really enjoy getting feedback from work, from teaching, from becoming who I am today. But that needed time, and that needed for us to build up my health. So if we talk about cure and who can be helped, I think I'm one of the greatest examples for that.
We've cured Rita's addictions to those different things. She has an addictive type personality, so we got to kind of watch, but she doesn't crave those things anymore.
No.
But we do have to have discipline.
And
I'm going to go do some yoga.
And
you guys
we have to, and no matter what we do, we have to build integrity. That's true.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Rita. That's very powerful stuff. And as you say, you know, you can get into someone's shoes because you've been there, and you know, you can really understand and empathize, and you know the tricks. And you know the solutions. So
I know the triggers. I have been there, and I know the difficulty. I sometimes on the weekends allow myself to have a little wine, but nowadays I'm trying to keep myself to a detox procedure because I want to raise up my higher awareness and my spirituality. So now I'm detoxing my full system physically and mentally. But there was nowadays a little bit of period here and there where we were both drinking a little bit. With Desiree is drinking now a little bit. But I noticed and I realized that this is also a bad habit. This is not needed because now I'm having 100% ginger drink and I feel good. So we don't have to have alcohol to have a good conversation, to have a good laugh, to be able to turn on the music and dance in the living room. We are, many of us are stuck in a bad program, and we are stuck on getting used to things, what we used to do, what our parents used to do, what our friends used to do. But we can change and reprogram that anytime. As Buddha says, every day we're born again, so we can start over and over, anytime, any day, anywhere.
And I think, Rita, if we just pick up the thread on raising our vibration, if we raise that vibration and we're operating in the higher realm of the soul as opposed to the lower astral soul realm, okay, we can't really access those points anymore. So why don't we have a look at how we raise our vibration? And one of the things is waking up in the morning. You have that split second. Is your glass half full or half empty? Is the day going to be a great day or not? And you program yourself to raise your vibration from the minute you wake up.
There was a video. I have an amazing friend called IMUNE, and I hope he's listening to us right now. He showed me a very powerful video where you can see the little triggers and the little mistakes what we do every morning, because we wake up, we look at our smartphones, we go to the toilet, we go to the bed, we go to make coffee, and then we start to talk to our partner, then we have a little argument, and we have to change these everyday habits, and the first movements in the morning can determine our whole day.
Correct. And to visualize the day and visualize what you want to achieve and to be on purpose, because there's so many distractions, be it people that we don't even want to mix with. That's a sidetrack already. But there's so many things. I mean, you can get stuck on your phone the whole morning if you really want to. You can get stuck on, maybe, I don't know, talking on, returning every phone call, and you should be doing what you need to be doing. So it's visualizing what you need to do for that day. So at the end of the day, you're on a high because you finished what you needed to have achieved. You've eaten high vibrational foods. You've eaten things like algae, pollen, medicinal mushrooms. You've eaten organic fruit, nuts, seeds, and sprouts. That's high vibrational stuff. And you've had conversation with people that raise your energy and you raise their energy. You've educated yourself. You've exercised your mind, and you've gone beyond the certain boundary that you normally operate in. You've done exercise. You've drunk your water. You've done your breathing exercises. Enriched your mind, your soul, your spirit, all of that kind of thing.
And this is giving you an energetic high. Like this is giving you a good feeling. And people who are addicts into alcohol, drugs, or game, they want to get high. They want to get high on a good feeling.
And we're doing it naturally. And that thing about breathing, about losing weight, but also the breathing alkalinizes the body, and that is the high when that body is alkaline. So you have it already. You have it automatically. And then you know what, Rita, is then you can find true freedom. When you are operating at that high vibrational level, you're not accessing the trivialities, those lower astral things, and you're not attracting those kind of people because there are no buttons to press anymore, right?
Yeah,
then you start reaching true freedom.
There is nothing to talk about with those people anymore because you are on a complete different level and energy field.
And we have the device to do this. I mean, we can run ourselves 24/7 if we want to. And literally, you know, work with the subconscious, work with the superconscious, and you know, flatten you know, anything that's in the way, any of those blockages which are illusions anyway. And I just find the more I work with the device, the more I understand the messages that are coming to me, and you know, more about this vibrational state. And you know, the thing is, it's measurable. It's not like we're talking again about belief here. We can actually measure what we're talking about. So, and I think Rita as well, what also raises my vibration was people come in for an hour treatment, and I just know that at that end of that hour, there's one more human being that shifted. And they're going to shift more because quantum ripples don't disappear. So for me, it's just another one down, another one down, another one down. And that raises my vibration.
Yes, because you feel that you're doing something amazing and you're helping people.
Yeah, definitely. Every time. So, you know, that is serving humanity. It's when we're sitting with somebody, when we're sitting with a patient and we're working through anxiety, we're working through depression, we're working through victimization, betrayal, rejection. We're working with humanity. We're actually raising humanity's vibration just by one person coming to see one of us. And, you know, we're getting that shift. So that raises my vibration too. I get very, 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 very satisfied. It's an unbelievable, I get a high, by the way, when that person leaves me and I know that there's going to be a shift. You know, I take photographs and I can see the symmetrical change in people in one month, or sometimes less, but I can see the shift.
The face changes, or I mean, you can see that.
Yeah. Yep. So, you know, we really are really onto the best of the best here. And the quantum therapists are going to, and Rita, I know you and Desi are running alongside, and I know there are many other quantum therapists running with us, and the whole world is, in fact, not the whole world, let's say 10% of the world, the conscious beings, we are all working with humanity. We're all working towards getting these dark forces out, these people that possessed, dispossessed, whatever they might be carrying. We're all working to shift the vibration of ourselves, the planet, and who knows, the universe, if you like. So we're going to do another one, and I'm very happy to report that, and Desi confirms this, that the death rates to COVID are coming down, and that's really what Desi wants to measure specifically. So we are having this big effect. I'm noticing with my device anyway that I'm reaching 100. Rita, I can do all the basic programs. I can run the 2 universal programs. I don't even have to necessarily do the detox. I'm already on 100. I don't even have to run AFEs. I'm already on 100 on all of the VAHO breathings. The pH is rebalanced. The cell vitality is up. And the bioresonance is normal. So it's really exciting to see what's happened and what we've been able to achieve.
Okay, Jane. Thank you for today. Desi and I have to go. Sure.
So we'll talk in the week, and let's get our program out for the 21st of December.
Okay.
And, you know, we're good at that. We're good at these long events, aren't we? We've had good practice. So everyone, we can be looking forward to that. And I'm going to just show you a couple of slides to show on a quantum level. Rita, you might be interested in one or two of them. There's this one of the case studies. There's been a total radical shape-shifting of this one person. And I mean, I've got many, but it's just one of them in the pictures. Anyway, you guys do what you need to do. I know it's Saturday. Thank you for your time and all the effort and love that goes into spoiling us.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Okay, so I just wanted to share something with you, and it is a presentation that I developed actually for the affiliates that belong to 365 Healthy by Choice to actually promote our weight loss program. And but there's some good little tidbits in this as well, and some of them have been already covered. But let's just proceed ahead with this. So this slide is showing us the awakening and the raising humanity's immunity to COVID. And for those of you who recently joined, in 2012, Desi worked with a group of quantum therapists, and there was a meteor that was about to hit the planet. And the conscious beings in connection with the people that working with their quantum devices managed to prevent this meteor hitting the planet. In any case, I'm just sharing that with you, that they already did. So Desi, Rita, and myself decided to put together this event where we raised the humanity's immunity, and we found that once a week wasn't enough. So we do it on a Saturday and a Tuesday. But I'm finding now the levels are topping up. It's amazing. And I think it's just got to do with a lot of things. The Mayans predicted an apocalypse on July the 21st, 2020. So that was the solstice 6 months ago. We're now coming to the solstice 6 months later. Apocalypse doesn't mean the end. It actually means the awakening. So we've been doing this, by the way, since end of March. And we've noticed, it was terrible. There was hopeless despair. There was really a lot of not good stuff going on with humanity. And we've just, I can tell you that with my device and the people that are working with us, we've shown phenomenal results. So thanks for everyone being part of it. All right, so let's have a look then at the weight. I call this presentation Fat and Fed Up, because many people are at that point, and you know, we can help. And there you've got the fatty, and there you've got the thinny and the green. All right, so this, if you have a look at the gold part here, we look at a 1 to 3 month program, specifically designed on an individual level. So we appealing to the people, you know, you've done everything. You've struggled, you're tired of exercising, tired of dieting, tried surgery. Many people go through that surgery where they actually cut half of the stomach away and they staple it. And in next to no time, they're back to their weight again. It is too horrendous. And they're not digesting properly. They've got diarrhea. They can only eat so much. I really strongly recommend people don't do that. It's not fair on the body or anything. And has it worked? No, because the weight comes on and even more. I know many people. And then, yeah, they've tried starving, they've tried fasting, misguided guesswork. So with our device, we're actually able to track a baseline, find out root causes of the weight, physically, neurologically, emotionally, and spiritually, and then start looking at the risk factors associated with it. For example, blood sugar problems, circulation problems, oxygen problems, and the awaken factors, now that these are in the picture. And, you know, helping people make informed choices to move forward. So, you know, there's startling facts about weight as well. I mean, 2/3 of American people are overweight. Childhood obesity is triple what it was a generation ago. There's a public health crisis. People don't accept or realize that losing weight is a conscious choice and requires a change in lifestyle. So many people want that slimming pill because they want to wake up thin tomorrow. Doesn't work like that, and it's synthetic. And they're focusing on food plans designed to help them lose weight. So this is another important factor. People say to me, Jane, just tell me what to eat and I'll do it. In other words, they will go into autopilot and eat what Jane thinks they want. Can't be like that. You cannot design an eating plan. You can put choices in front of people. Like you can put the blood group choices in front of people and tell them to make their Monday to Sunday Excel sheet with what they have when they awaken at breakfast, if they're having a tea, if they have something at lunch, they have something in the afternoon, and something preferably you need to eat before 7, because everything closes down, goes to sleep. So those people need to put out of the choices available the beneficial foods as opposed to the avoid foods which cause inflammation, which is weight on. They can then choose. And the thing is as well is that you might have decided that on Thursday morning you're going to have a boiled egg, but you wake up on Thursday morning and your gut feel says to you, you know what, I actually want to eat some of the soaked oats, for example, or I actually want a fruit smoothie with some nuts in it. So the thing is that we've lost our instinct, we've lost our sensitivity to eat for the here and now and eat according to those needs of our bodies. So I actually defy any weight loss dietitian or whatever to actually formulate a prescriptive diet plan for anybody. They're not in that person's shoes. And the other thing is with eating, it's a soul feeling. So somebody might say to me, Jane, you know, shall I give up eating meat? I actually cannot answer that. I'm not on their evolutionary path. I can say to them things like, I would not eat an animal that's been put through the fear of, first of all, let's say a cow eating, getting born, getting ripped away from its mother, and knows its mother's over there, and then getting its mother's milk given back to it in a bottle, and calling for its mother physically and telepathically, not getting its mom. And then growing up then eating in a feedlot for the rest of its life, and then getting in a truck or whatever and going to the abattoir, the fear, the smell, all the rest of it, and then we eat that. Sorry, I'm not going to do that. Here and now, with the vibrational state that we're on right now, I'm not going to do that. I can put that to them. I can put it to them that the carcass is drenched in the urine and all the bacteria and pathogens and things like that. I can put that to somebody. They must make their own decision. They must go and make their own reading. And it also depends where you are and at what point you are. I can share something with you as well. So I was totally vegan with my first child. And then I started a little bit of dairy, a little bit of kefir and things like that. And then I got pregnant with my second child. And I had the family around for a meal, and I was cooking fresh fish for them. And I suddenly looked at the fish and I thought, my gosh, I need some of that. And I thought, well, it doesn't matter. My soul has told me I need some of it. And I ate some of it and I realized my son needed it. And it was also about 6 months after he was born with the breastfeeding and everything. It was day and night. I stopped. I didn't need it anymore. So can you see that you've got to work and you've got to be flexible? And, praise and thank nature and animals and things and that for our food. So in deeds of sacrifice to mankind given, and that's what we need to be part of that. So your friend can't tell you what to eat. It's just not like that. And we need to look at sustainability. We can't be dieting and restricting. Diet and its restriction. It's not about that. It's about nutrition and moving forward in life. So those are the things that are obvious and real. And also, I mean, we can't really sustain the planet eating this amount of meat that they are eating on a daily basis. I mean, it's known, and McDonald's are preparing synthetic meat in its liquid, a liquid hamburger patty that then solidifies and looks and tastes and feels like meat. So we know already that we can't sustain the meat aspect. So we need to focus on the underlying factors. And metabolic syndrome is the syndrome when this is the typical syndrome over here. If you have 3 of them, blood pressure higher than 1 30/85. Fasting blood sugar over 100. Waist larger than 40 inches for men or 35 inches for women. HDL cholesterol under 40 for men and under 50 for women. Triglycerides over 150. If you've got three of these or more, you have metabolic syndrome, which is a shutdown. That means the cell vitality shut down, the insulin's locked, and the glucose and energy can't get into the cell. So again, we've got to detox. We have to get all of that out. And we've talked a lot about this today. Leave those past negative factors behind. Charge that battery. We talked about it. And get reset. And then I like to use the blood group and make it uniquely yours. Very, very important. Here's the shapeshift I was talking about. Literally, this guy had, well, he was in a downward spiral. Metabolic syndrome. There it is. There's the picture of metabolic syndrome. Here's the picture of health. This is the same person. Totally unrecognizable. So we talked about this today. The healthy weight release and to keep the balance and homeostasis. There's the oxygen. There's all the things we talked about. And then this is what we do. Is because we're going for ultimate maximum health, if you want. We look at the root causes of the obesity and validate the risks, and then we realign the body. And it's all on holistic space. And we use the quantum device, and we run a treatment for an hour, and then we also run the prescription programs for weight release 3 times. This is in a month. And they get 4 products. I'll show you some of the products that we use as well. And this just works. I mean, this is exactly what this guy did. We raised his vibration within a week and it just catapulted. He never stopped. And with quantum, it doesn't stop either. So you can be even thinner in 2 weeks' time. And in 3 weeks' time, even more thin. It's just an electrical impulse that just escalates. It's just too marvelous. And we have group meetings with people and we do progress reports and things. And we've also got a smaller device here, which isn't quantum treatment, it's quantum assessment only. And we run through the same program as well. And we have a weight loss box. So we've got 4 products in this weight loss box. We've got the weight loss product. And this product has got amazing things in it. It's got garcinia, it's got green tea, it's got kelp, gymnema. Gymnema balances weight. It's got citrus bioflavonoids, L-carnitine, turmeric, and ginseng. So ginseng's also bringing in oxygen. Green tea, munching up the fatty material in the body. All that sticky, heavy, undigestible fat that's polluting the body. And by the way, thin people also have it. It's not only large people that have this fat in their body. Thin people definitely also have it. So I've put together a nice practitioner pack, if you like. We've got to clean this liver. If the liver is not metabolizing and detoxifying for us, we very difficult to shift. Very difficult to get the hormones balanced and digestion balanced and things. Often we need enzymes for a month or 2 to help digest the unwanted fat, the unwanted proteins, and to just get the metabolism working properly. And we need that oxygen. So you see, we do teach the breathing exercises, but I like to bring it in as well because it does assist detox. And as you detox, it assists with the alkalinity of the body, reduces acidity. So we've got, that's what the box cost, the price of the box, just to show you. And that's not the program. The program's got another price. But what we're doing now, we've got a special on, and I'm putting the microbiome reset, which has 80 to 120 live strains, which will then shapeshift inside you according to your microbiome blueprint. It's able to do that. So that's how we start managing this weight. And there's lots of products in the range as well that I haven't even mentioned. So iodine, very important, but it depends on the reading. There's some more digestive enzymes. If we need hydrochloric acid, we've got a Fat Go product. We've got Almost Gold, which is charging the body. Flaxseed oil, charging the body, charging the cell membrane. gallbladder, cleaning that gallbladder. Maybe that's the problem. If the gallbladder is blocked, you are going to not digest your oil properly. There will be cholesterol. There will be triglycerides. There will be a slowdown of the blood. So sometimes it's an overnight thing. We just catch it straight away. Open up that duct, and finally the bile acid can come out. Finally the gut starts moving. The peristalsis starts moving, and everything starts aligning. And then also parasite cleansers, because often there's parasites that need to get shifted as well, that are actually eating all your goodness. They're eating the serotonin and not allowing you to be happy. And happy people are not unhappy people, difficult to lose weight. Sorry, I lost a slide there. So we put the whole package together to stabilize the weight, depending on the people's results. We've got a meal in one as well, and this is just simply awesome. It's got over 30 nutrient-dense foods, highly vibrational, and also adaptogenic herbs. And it's got the green tea and the kelp and everything else to munch up the oil and parasitins and everything. And you can just see from the pictures, it's high vibrational. The base is raw cacao, and I don't need to say anything more about that either. So we use this as a meal in one, and we mix it with coconut oil and berries and ground flaxseed and nuts, soaked nuts. And we can either make it with room temperature water or slightly warmed, or some green tea that's left over, whatever, warm tea. And it's really delicious. And the minerals are there. The protein building blocks are there. The long chain sugars for the brain are there. The vitamins, the minerals, the phytonutrients. So you're on a satiable level. You're really ticking all the boxes. You're getting that food that you need in. And the people love it, from babies to elderly. And then let's see what else I've got here. That's what the smoothie then looks like. There's the recipe. So you'll get that in the recording. And what's in it for you? You can get all your ideal weight and a better body shape, streamlined, symmetrical, improved health status, increased energy, rejuvenation, live productively, think clearly, reducing your risk of chronic disease. Most importantly, do you know what people need? They need self-confidence. This weight is terrible. It knocks it. And they know people are talking about them. They know they're not in their right space. So let's help. I think we need to help wherever we can here. And let me see what let me show you what this slide is doing. Okay, so this is what we've got, a little manual for everybody. And then people become the testimony. So that person that I showed you did the shapeshift, the reform, the realignment. They become walking case studies. I can't tell you how many weight loss people have come to me just because that guy did so well. And men are amazing, actually. Sure, somebody's let off some fireworks. Can you hear? Anyway, you become a walking case study, and then people want to also have part of that energy. So that was what I wanted to share with you all. And any questions on that? Any questions going forward? I think maybe the fireworks were just in celebration of this evening and everything we've shared. It's been amazing. It'll take me a little while to download this, so I'll send the recording as soon as that is done. And once again, pearls of wisdom on every level. I mean, I just love what Desi and Rita share with us, and I love your questions as well. And well, again, we've just received on a huge level. So let's do something with the information. Let's take it, let's share it, share the videos as Desi's asked us to do, and raise our own vibration, most importantly. So let's get really clean. Let's get our streamlined bodies ready for the 21st of December. And good luck to you all. And those of us who are knuckling down, who are doing raising humanity's immunity to COVID and more, all those little dark spaces, dark creatures, dark things on the planet, they can go outside and disintegrate. And we can let the quantum frequencies disintegrate them too. Okay. Thanks, guys.